I have been weeding all the day long, all the weeks long, but the garden's finally getting to a point of where it needs to be. Nicholas is currently doing something with our compost bin, so we're gonna go check that out. I don't know if he's disassembling it or if he is planning to like pick up the whole thing and move it, but we really need to expand our compost pile and hone in on that. We just use so much soil around here because ours is super compact and clay light. We've spent so much money over the last couple of years on garden soil alone. So let's go see what he's up to. Maybe time for some new boots. Literally. I think it's time. I'll come get some in a minute.
Good break.
That is good.
Not at mine. Can we? Are you good? Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, I think you'll have to push the top layer off the back and then work on doing the rest of the same. Yeah, that. You want a rake? You can push with the back side. Okay, we have eggs. Our hens have been laying about 4 or 5 a day, so we really have quite the abundance. Oh, hi. What's up? Nicholas is still working on that. His plan is to turn the former compost bin, the wood structure, into a chicken brooder. We really would like to do meat birds. So can you open the door for us, please? I don't know if he'll get to that today because it is about to storm here in about 30 minutes. I have like 11 errands to do today. Look at these eggs. Eek. Tower of Terror. But Nicholas's off days are always just so wild with trying to get all the things done around our little homestead and around just in life in general. So I need to shower because I am gross from being outside all day, and then go run some errands, maybe he'll get to work on that. I'll show you how far he gets regardless. And then I really need to fertilize my garden. I've not done that a single time this season. So this afternoon would be the prime time to do it with rain coming in, but we've had a really good summer in terms of getting rain showers, especially in the evening. So I think I'm just gonna have to put that off until tomorrow, and then I'll give you a little update on some things that are really growing well around the garden when I do so. Okay, so it's still raining, but I thought that I would take this opportunity to, one, probably still fertilize the garden, because now I don't need to water the fertilizing. The rain's going to do that for me. And two, as I'm getting my fertilizer out, I thought that I would go through some of my garden bins and see what we actually have. Smells kind of funky in there. I have so many containers from like plants that I've purchased and such, and I would love to have a better place to put those. Yeah, and then I'm also considering starting some crops for like a fall garden now. And yeah, I don't know, there's always so many things, so many ideas running through my mind, but in the meantime, let's see what we got. So garden soil, who knew? Like, honestly had no clue that was in there. Well, I got these from Walmart last year. At the time I ended up not really needing it, but I've saved it, so hopefully a year later it will still do us some good. So that's bone meal. This is blood meal. I have this fan and these seed starting trays with grow light attachments. So this is all that you need for the light. It attaches via a USB to like a wall block, and then it has these connecting pieces on the ends that go up into this bottom port right there. So it connects like so, and then this goes on top of your green tray, and the seed starter just sits down inside of it. So very handy. I didn't do seed starters this year, but I did last year, and they worked very well. We actually have power ran up to this barn. It's just not connected. So if we ever get that finished, I would love to next spring maybe do these trays up here on my potting bench, like have it all more organized and put together. The fan helps just with circulation for the seed starters. I actually got mine off of Temu, but I have some very similar saved to my Amazon storefront, so I'll have that linked down in the description if you're interested. And that's actually all that's in here. I had like a random hand tool, but that's all that I had in here. I know that I had more stuff. Maybe I have it. Let me go see if I have another tote, because I think I do. Okay, so there was another one, and this makes a lot more sense. I think some of these things would be better served if they were organized differently. So these were little strawberry, I don't even know what you call them. Strawberry shelves, maybe? Okay. Bear with me. You put these pieces together, and then they have somewhere in here, they have little sticks that go into these 4 bottom peg holes, and this just sits around the plant, so you fit it around the base of the plant, and then it keeps your strawberries off the ground, which is super ideal. I think that the weed eater might have caught it a couple of times last year, and we actually didn't do strawberry plants this year. I would love to, because we consume a crazy amount of strawberries, but for right now we don't need these. I will put them, however, in the other tote with the seed starters and things like that. It just seems like a good tool that needs to be there. Another hand tool. I really need to get like a little caddy to hold all of my garden tools in. Seeds. We will come back to these because I actually still have a little bit of room in my garden. Here's a little knee mat. I don't use it, but there are times where I wish I had it up there with me. Just seems like a lot of work to move it, and you know, as much as you're kind of moving around in the garden, it's not the most ideal. This is a pH tester, which is great in theory. I don't know that it's super accurate. I got it for my blueberry bush, which y'all know my struggle with my blueberry bush. And it said that the pH up there was fine, but the blueberry bush has not been fine, so I just wonder about the reliability of this. Also, it came from Temu, and I don't know. I think maybe I just need to try again, because maybe try in some different areas. I just need to use it more, I guess. Last year especially, Good Friday happened like the first Friday of April. It was maybe like April 1st, maybe it was April Fool's Day. Anyways, it was so early when we put the garden in that I ended up having to cover some plants from time to time until the last frost passed. This year, Easter was so late, it was at the end of April that that was not a concern. So, didn't end up needing these, but that's what several of these things are. The girls have a little garden tool in here. Have a weed puller, if that's what that's called. Oh look, a lighter. I don't need that for the garden. Like I said, this was by our grill, so that's probably where that's from. More hand tools. I've been wondering where these were. I knew that they were around here somewhere. A box cutter, because you just never know when you're gonna need a box cutter. I actually have these garden bibs, which would be quite helpful, I think. I don't know. Especially as I'm weeding out in the mornings. I go through clothes like crazy right now. I'm doing so much laundry because the ground is still wet. I really need to figure that out. My grandmother found these at a discount store in our area, and she was like, I thought that this would be helpful for you. And it really would. I just need to use them, much like a lot of the things in this bucket. Maybe I need to go ahead and put these on right now. I don't know. Before I head out to fertilize, I'll try to put those on and see if they prove useful, because if not, I need to get rid of them. And then this box has a lot of knickknacks. It's a catch-all. So it has another box cutter. I can just put this one down in there with it. What that was used for, I don't know. Maybe, oh, that's actually quite wise. I didn't know that I had it, but it came with the seed starting kit, and it's just the perfect little size for scooping soil and putting down into those little starter trays. I have some labelers, which would have been helpful this year because I did not label a darn thing and didn't know half of what I had when it started coming in. Gorilla tape, I don't know why that's in there. Little baby glass food jars. I had used these for seed starters, maybe like a little herb garden in my kitchen windowsill, and they didn't really work out. So I just decided that I prefer outdoor gardening. And also we don't do a ton of herbs. Look at that teeny tiny little container. I don't know. This needs to be cleaned up, but it's, you know, some gardening tape. So, okay. So, tape. Let's see what we have in this seed box. Oh, and there's those little sticks. So these little sticks go into the bottom of the strawberry shelf. Oh my word, look at this. I have some marigolds, which maybe I can put out in the garden here in a little bit. Gypsophilia. I have a lot of flowers in the garden that are really beautiful, but they're not filler flowers. So maybe those would be a good solution to that. Oh, and alyssum. I have that as well, which would similarly be a good filler, I think. I have more room, and I'm really trying to maximize my space, so I think those will be good. There's a few more marigolds. As long as I still have the energy to do so, I think I'm probably going to try to do a second summer sow and then get a late summer harvest as well. That's the hope. My flowers are cut and come again, so they'll just keep on doing their thing with minimal effort on my part, which is why I like flowers so much. I like them for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the main reasons. I remembered that I have a plant shelf sitting against the outside of our barn that I'm actually going to move right in here and then put all of my containers on it really fast, and then once that's done, maybe the rain will have held off enough for me to figure out what on earth I'm doing with this fertilizer and then go apply it to the soil. Okay, slight change of plans because the more that we got to looking and reading, our concern with adding the blood meal or the bone meal is that it would add acid to our soil. And I went around with the pH tester, and our grow bags, which have the tomatoes in the pH level there is 7.5. Everywhere in ground as well as in our raised beds, it's right at 7. So when we looked it up, most of what we're growing prefer like 6 to 6.8 for a pH level, so it's actually a little bit high. But regardless, I found this, which is what we used last year, and I'm assuming, yeah, it says best used within 2 years of purchase. So as long as it didn't get too warm being outside last year, it should still be okay. I think it will be. And this is a fish fertilizer, so it's good for both crops and flowers. And I think this might be our safest bet. It needs to be stretched back out, but I just did 2 tablespoons and then filled this whole thing up with water, and I put holes in the lid, and it made it like some kind of little watering can or fertilizing can, and it worked out well. I think last year it took me 2 of these to get around the garden each time, and I did it like 3 times throughout the season. We only did 1 harvest last year, so if we do 2 this year, then we might need to use it 6 times. He's still investigating all of the research behind blood meal, bone meal. I would just hate to have plants doing well and then put that on it and it burn them up or something. Okay, so I've tried to tighten these best I can. It's not going too well. I've also got a tool in it. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can tell with the lighting out here, but it's something about up here. I can't get it tight enough. I think I'm wearing like an extra large is the only thing I can guess, because up around the whole top is the issue. Like the straddle comes down to my knees. Like my waist is here. This is where my tool belt should be with all the pockets. And that's how they should fit. But instead, it's there. So great in theory, but no thanks. Ugh. You ever just feel trapped? Like you can't get out? That's how I feel right now. Maybe I'll invest in some of those, but I think for me they're just not the right size. I love the idea. I love the thought. It was the thought that counted. Anyways, let's go spread some flower seeds. So we got all the flower seeds out. We'll see how many take. With those that say like 1/8 around and see what happens.
Depth.
So I just hopefully that'll be a beautiful little flower patch everywhere. I still have a couple areas of my garden that I would like to pull up and replace the grass with more seeds, but That's actually, like, for real, all of the annual flower seeds that I have. So it would be more crops, or I need to go to the store and get some more annuals. So anyways, I'm going to put all this stuff up. The sun is coming out now, but I think it's supposed to rain again later. I do think I'm probably going to go ahead and water down the garden real good, just so that the sun doesn't make that fertilizer too hot on my precious plants. And then I'm going to call it a day. We're actually heading over to a friend's farm. They have like a legit homestead, and we are going to be homestead sitting. We are going to be farm sitting for them in July. So they're going to walk us through, give us a crash course on how to milk their goats, how to care for their cows, how to do all of the stuff that they do. And I'm really excited about it. But for now, I'm glad to have this place a bit more loved on, a bit more taken care of, a bit more beautiful. And I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.